Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. I'm your lovely host, Jason, and these are the same three deceased clones that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Asher Ford, Human Ranger, played by Char.
Hi.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, played by Will.
I'm missing being in a map square again. Can we go back to that?
No, sorry. And in the bottom right, we have Gunn Shough, Human Champion of Astral, played by Adam.
I'm not sure how we can tell the difference between a clone and a the other thing.
Mm-hmm. Simulacra.
Yeah.
You have to be a lot more researched. That's how. Alright, let's get started. So last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers made their way beyond the veil at the back of the hall with the massive peacock in it. Stepping through the illusory mirrors, you located a secret doorway that led into Vraxaris's seemingly personal study or library. There you found the corpse of the real Vraxaris, or presumably the real Vraxaris, older, atop a mound of books, very, very deceased. You continue to explore the rest of his wing of the Runeforge, found a bunch of dead clones of both him and Delvaheen, and signs that he had clearly gone mad in his final moments, and that he seems to have been dead for quite some time. You also found a good amount of notes, largely on his attempts to find some heroes that could go out and defeat Karzoug for him. As well as his attempts to leave the Runeforge itself. He's mentioned a couple of different ways that you could get out by, or that he's tried, or has thought about. One of which was via some kind of plane-shifting magic. Another was via astral projection and somehow solidifying your form once you've done so. And then the third method he has mentioned was by using the Master Circle found in the Halls of Wrath that was built there some time ago. Yes, he's also detailed the method for creating Runeforged weapons. Going over the notes in more detail, it seems that they've never actually managed to produce such a weapon. It is very hypothetical, and so a lot of the notes you find are on producing objects of concentrated enough sin that have had their sin infused within them in some way, and then placing those items within the Runeforge pool, two sins opposite to the sin that you would like to defeat, as well as one weapon of your choice. And then once all three of the items are in the pool at the same time, the pool will infuse the weapon with those sinful energies and produce, hopefully, a counteracting weapon that should be quite potent against magic of the opposing sin. The exact details of how those weapons would work is unknown, other than what Vraxaris has already theorized in the notes that you've read. He seems to have some belief that such a weapon could cut through the barrier protecting Karzoug, but beyond that, their powers remain yet unknown. Let's see.
The question I have about that, which is some small amount of new information to me, is how would such a weapon's current runes interact with that process? Would they block it if it were already full?
It does not say. The no mention in the notes even like refers to a weapon as
having
runes already on it.
Okay.
All the like discussion is just
system.
about enhancing the weapon and imbuing it with this powerful sin.
Yeah.
You do find some notes. You do find some notes that indicate that such weapons are most powerful in the hands of someone who is attuned to one of the two sins that was used to create it, and likely has some effect of enhancing those sins in that person, or making them feel those sins more strongly. And those not attuned to those sins may have problems wielding such a weapon, especially if they are strongly attuned to the exact opposite sin.
Okay. But my read on that is that it would be some inherent properties of the weapon rather than a rune, and would not necessarily use a rune slot or bump something out of it, like, because runes have to be inscribed or transferred onto the weapon, right? Whereas this is,
though, given that this thing is called a rune a rune forge, perhaps runes might get created as a result, but you don't know if those runes would count as property runes for the slots they would take up.
Do I know what would happen?
You could spend like some days researching it to try and determine that.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ask Greshy. I'm gonna ask Greshy on his knowledge as a crafter of enchantments. What would happen if too many property runes were placed on the same item? Would they be destroyed? Would the item be destroyed, or would they just deactivate?
I'm not sure that you could. I'm not sure the magic would allow you to apply more than the rune sufficient on the item would allow. There's a base property rune, for example, that allows for these other fundamental rune that allow these other property runes to go onto most of these items. So if the foundation's insufficient, it wouldn't even set.
Okay.
You could give me a arc. Or any magical check or crafting, Greshy, to supplement that information if you wish.
I'm worried that we might waste one of the charges if we try and use our good weapons here.
30. What's a roll? 30 total.
Okay. Yeah, thinking about it,
end up destroying some things.
It's possible if an additional rune was to end up on something, and like if there were more runes on a weapon or item than it could actually handle as an object, then the worst that could happen is that one of the runes would go inert. There just wouldn't be enough latent magical energy in the object to power all of them at the same time.
So simply you'd have extra that would be sitting there and unused.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sort of like when we have a runestone that doesn't have a... And it's just...
Yeah, so worst case, those inert runes could be moved off. Potentially. So
that sounds totally safe enough to me then.
Sure.
So like I wouldn't... That way we don't have to risk wasting a charge of this thing and then find out why it didn't work later. Okay, cool.
Let's see. So further, so you off screen you did some rolls for identifying a few items that were on Vrexeris's person. So I can give you those things now. While Asher and Greshy are reviewing the notes together. Gunn is checking out these items. The cloak that Vraxaris had is a greater Cloak of Repute. The ring he had on is a Ring of Wizardry Type 2. The robe he had on is clearly magical, but you're not sure exactly how it's supposed to work.
Okay.
It feels a lot like that robe that you found that Monk Mirian had, which you had initially identified as an evil robe of the Archmagi. But having done that once and being wrong, you're not sure if that's what this is too. The energies in it is very strong.
It was a good. Okay.
Oh, did you think it was a good one? You thought it was a robe of the Archmagi either way. And you think this might be the same object, but you're not really sure. None of you is super super ingrained with arcane magic, and it feels like an arcane item.
Okay.
The book that he has, the spell book, it seems to be titled in Thessalonian, A Brilliant Mind. And it has the same attributes as a grimoire item called the Storyteller's Opus, which is from Secrets of Magic.
A fun name.
It's just a renamed version of the same item. It boosts illusion spells if you prepare illusion spells. If you are a prepared caster, regardless of whether or not you use spellbooks. Then cool. Let's see. The dagger on him was a +2 greater striking inconspicuous dagger. The inconspicuous trait or rune is this is a unique rune, but it allows you for one action to turn the weapon into a common piece of clothing, and as part of that action, equip the piece of clothing. And as an action, you can unequip the piece of clothing, and it automatically turns back into the true weapon that it is. So it's kind of like a shifting rune.
That's a sneaky little thing, ain't it?
How fun.
But it lets you hide it as something that's not a weapon.
Yes. So you could be walking around with a ring and then pull your sword out when needed.
Does it also let you turn it into a different weapon? Like a
no,
rune?
You would need a proper shifting rune for that. This just allows it to turn into...
So, I was wondering if it was like greater shifting type deal, or totally different, unrelated.
Yeah, totally different, unrelated, but kind of similar. I think cool. The shifting rune is transmutation. This one's actually illusion.
That makes sense.
And the headband. You look over the headband. It feels inert, as if its magic has been somewhat used up, and needs to be attuned for quite a long time. But this is a headband of inspired wisdom. You think that if one were to wear this for some number of days, if not weeks, if not months, their mental energies could infuse into it again and recharge it as a proper headband of inspired wisdom. But this is an incredibly rare Apex item.
Always very nice to find. Too bad it ain't working.
Well...
Sweaty headband.
I could tell Greshy about that finding, and you would definitely be the one to use it. Out of all of us, this could...
Why? I don't have hair to keep out of my face or anything.
Do you sweat? Does your
head
get
this,
sweaty?
It's kind of cold out right now. I haven't been sweating that much, but some battles.
We'll keep you warm.
I think this could begin to improve. I think this could improve further upon the mental powers that you particularly use to cast your spells.
I'm going to ask you this very carefully.
It'll make you smarter.
No, that's not it. I'm just going to ask you very carefully, Gunn, since we've run into this before, and not actually with you necessarily. How confident are you that putting this on my head is going to make me smarter and not the opposite?
Well, I'm not.
That's why I'm a bit worried about it.
I think the worst I could say is that it might not work right away, or it might temporarily do the. I mean, yeah, no, I really don't know.
Okay.
What would happen in the meantime, but I think.
You think it'll hurt me? That's really it.
No, I don't think it'll hurt you. It doesn't seem to be cursed. And like
What if it's too tight for his head?
We took this off of Braxurus's body. He was wearing this.
He's also dead.
It's also making
Yeah, but he presumably wore it for thousands of years. So maybe that's why it's a little bit run down.
Well, of course, now that you put it that way, I'm really inclined to put this thing on my head.
A little prestidigitation will spruce it right up.
Yeah, clean it up.
I mean, sure, I guess I'm going to put on this very old, slightly sweat-stained headband.
You can feel free to examine it yourself if you'd like.
That would take me a while.
Greshy, looking it over, you feel uncomfortable putting this on your head, but you feel like you could probably wrap it around your arm or like wrap it around your neck. It's big enough that you could like kind of tuck it into your.
Could I make a cravat out of it, sort of thing?
A scarf, yeah. Make a cravat, sure. You don't necessarily have to wear it on your head. I said scruff and then I meant scarf.
Oh, that's just an interesting sort of transposition there to make.
Yeah, I know.
That's all.
I'll start out with the headband and see where we go from here. But
okay,
it doesn't bother me that much. It's just sweat.
You wrap around, tie it.
Old sweat.
And you don't feel anything. There's like a slight tingle immediately, but nothing else after that. Yeah, just feels like a headband.
Not hearing any weird voices or nothing.
No whispers. You hear Asher beside you talking.
Just literally right over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Hello.
Asher, do you cast arcane spells? I don't think you do. Any at all?
Let's find out this time. What are my spells?
For the book learning type folks, I think this ring would let you cast extra spells.
That
I think
could be useful for
everyone
arcane.
here is using
Yeah.
primal or divine.
I thought Asher had some occult as his.
Nope.
Okay.
Like
I
Asher
think
has
mine
all
are
of his
mostly
stuff.
primal.
Yeah.
I refuse to use
From the
divine
archer class, right?
spells. Yeah,
Yeah.
from the Eldritch.
Eldritch Archer? Is that primal?
Yeah, he has stuff from Eldritch Archer and Druid, but
Druid.
he combined them all for the same. Eldritch Archer can just be of whatever type you already have, so his is primal.
Oh, okay. I thought Eldritch Archer was either arcane or occult.
It only grants it if you don't already have it, and Asher already had it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Primal.
So, I mean, the ring will come in handy for someone, probably, I'm sure, but not really for me.
Well, of the rest of these things, this robe could be good if someone wants to try it. I think it's like that other one that we had. So if I had messed it up in the same way, it might be that same really nice.
I mean, if it is, I would like to keep that this time, but it's another row of runes.
Maybe.
But
I'm really not sure on.
It does have some Thessalonian runes, like engraved in the lining, but they don't look the same as the robe that you had before. And you weren't able to, in your identification, figure out how to activate this at all. So yeah, you're not really sure.
Fun. All right. Well, suppose we'll toss it in the bag unless Asher can read. Can you read Thessalonian runes or just regular Thessalonian writing?
Can I read runes? I assume they just are random kind of words.
Yeah, they're random
Are they
like bits
legible
of math,
things?
like arcane math. They don't really mean anything individually. It's not something that you can read. It's more something that you would sit down and decipher with math, magic math, as it were.
Magic math.
Magic math. That's fabulous.
Sorry, this is magic math. I don't know magic math.
I don't know regular math, so that's fair. But
Where's the Cloak of Repute?
Oh, what book is
somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
it? Is that what you're asking? I can double check for you.
I think I found it on Nethys, so...
Cloak of Repute is in the Lost Omens character guide.
Ah, okay. That would explain why I didn't find it right away. That
would be good for
diplomacy bonus, yeah.
well, Gunn or Asher right now, since Asher can actually speak Thessalonian, though if you can, when you have your comprehend languages up, you'll also be pretty good at that.
Does Asher have a cloak with magic?
I have my zebra, which is not magic.
Hmm.
You know, if you just start stacking things the way that I do, you can just wear everything.
Well,
All of
So
your clothes at
layered.
once.
we've gotten 2 cloaks from this guy. One that makes you non-detectable, and one that makes you better at conversation and more likable.
Ooh.
Interesting. Also sounds a bit right for him, at least the second one does. The sneaking around one doesn't sound like him too much, though.
He doesn't wish to be seen.
Why was it he was sneaking around? Was it when he was going to visit Delvaheen?
Probably.
Hmm.
That was my takeaway, that he had the hat of disguise and the other cloak for hiding from the others or visiting
I thought
Delvaheen.
he just was embarrassed because he looked too old and gross and therefore didn't want to be seen. But the other stuff makes more sense.
And
Yes, you'll never be able to ask him.
The book, I'm guessing, is not to... This dagger, if I were to convert it into, like, an armband or something like that, could I just wear it all day long that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'll try that, because I think I still have some attunement slots open. Maybe I'll, like, just wear it as a scarf, and then, or a scroff. And if I
It doesn't require any attunement.
need a
slot
backup
for a
weapon.
weapon.
Oh, fair enough. Okay. Can I try to turn it into a neck covering
Sure. Yeah.
and just wear it?
Yeah, you kind of...
Does it work? Like,
You have to just, like, kind of snap the... There's no verbal component, you just kind of snap the item, like, around your neck. It's like a slap bracelet. You slap the dagger onto your neck, and it kind of just wraps around and becomes a nice little, I guess, whatever neck
collar.
adornment you would like. It could be a necklace, it could just be a simple chain.
a bolo would be Gunn's type, probably.
Sure. It becomes that.
Comfortable aesthetic.
Okay, so I'll just wear that, and then just in case if that's cool with everyone.
Sure.
Go
That
for
seems
it.
fine. I was going to say we could put that fancy rune on your sword at some point.
Yeah, that would.
Maybe not right now, but just transfer it over to...
Transfer that. Yeah, the rune's definitely going to be useful, but in the meantime, since dagger is what it's on...
Oh, sure. Just later on we can
hold on to it.
make good use of it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Were we sleeping here then?
Or negative sleeping, but resting.
Right.
That sounds like you had a list of things that you wanted me to, or wanted to do while you were here.
Yes.
So I'll just go through the list I have, unless you guys want to just tell me what you want to do.
Well, I think from the list that I wrote, probably during this rest, the thing would be to have one person, probably Asher, try to learn the astral projection ritual from this this book that we found that the rest of us won't be able to read until tomorrow.
I would like Asher to read it aloud to me so I can also learn how to speak a Thessalonian still. Just taking some time to practice.
Very loudly.
One person to try to figure out if the broken mirrors outside that made the clones are the ones that we think are infused with pride energy, or if it's this amulet thing. And then also whether that amulet thing might be the tuning fork that we're looking for.
Okay.
I think the rest of this requires us to read stuff.
Mhm.
So.
Okay. Well, it sounds like at least. Well, I guess it's up to Asher and Greshy. Is Asher going to try and learn astral projection from this book?
I will try. I'm not making any promises that I can, but I'll sure read it very loudly to Greshy too.
Well, in his way, Greshy might be able to point out some ways that makes sense or doesn't make sense. Don't know if it'll actually help at all, or if he's just going to make nonsense of all of it. But
Okay, and I'll try and figure out these mirror artifacts.
Yeah, Asher, you pop open the astral projection book and start reading over it, but you don't have any idea. Like you can read the words and you get lost in the sauce real quick. It's all very deep arcane knowledge. There's also some occult stuff here, so you could go at it from an occultism angle, but you don't really know how to cast occult spells. You just know about occult stuff. Actually, sorry. Can you actually learn a ritual that's not on your spell list? Maybe that's... Hold on. Maybe you can. Maybe I'm being silly.
I thought rituals weren't spell list at all.
That's kind of what I thought too, but I could certainly be wrong about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Because some of them don't necessarily require... I mean, most of them do require some sort of spell, but not necessarily...
Let me double check the learner ritual rule. Learner ritual does not count against any spell. What is the spell? Someone might teach it to you. Okay, I think. Okay, no, yeah, you could attempt occultism or arcana if you're a master at either skill.
Has Asher been studying his occultism?
No, I'm not a master at either of those things.
Okay.
So no.
Well, that
I don't think anyone else is going to mind it.
But we can take it with us.
That
Asher could read it to someone
else.
if anyone else in the party is a master at arcana.
Spoiler,
or occultism.
No.
Okay.
I'm not even a master of religion.
All
Well,
right,
we knew
so-
that, Gunn. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I don't think you can learn the ritual then, because you wouldn't be able to
No.
even try to cast it
Well,
even if you had it.
We can't. This is a useless book. We'll take it with us, though.
We should
Yeah, you
specifically take it with us so
spend,
nobody else
somewhere-
can have it in here.
Asher spends like 30 minutes trying to understand it, and doesn't realize until halfway through that he's got the book upside down, flips it over, still doesn't understand. Eventually gets frustrated.
Magic math is some
Trash.
bullshit.
Yeah, I don't understand this magic math.
All right. Well, that sounds like that's a no-go from my list.
Alright, well, that's one escape route not viable.
Yep.
Great.
Next priority on the list is, let's say, is this hexagon mirror potentially a tuning fork of the material plane? How did I figure that out?
Let's see. Well, that would be a magical skill check, one of the 4 schools. Pick the one you think is most appropriate. Also,
Me.
hello, thank you for the
Connor.
raid. Hi, Elhawk.
Oh,
Hello,
dear.
much ed. I don't know how to say your name.
Machik.
Machik.
Machikidi.
ED. Owly B, Phantom NJ, DM Dingbat, hello. Sahedrons. There you go.
No, I didn't change my background. Oh no.
Yeah, pick a
I think
skill you think would work.
I think I'm best off trying a religion check because I was able to use the wand. So I'll just try religion.
Okay.
I mean, I was able to misuse the wand.
Sure. Go ahead and give me a religion
I
check. then.
suppose what's the worst that could happen, eh? Ooh.
35.
35. Okay.
I'm really
You-
good at figuring out religious items, but not at other religious knowledge.
Yeah, so you sit with this mirror for a bit, looking at it, flipping it over, trying to perceive its. Actually, did you have read aura currently?
I do not have read aura.
Okay.
Greshy has read aura right now, but
Okay. But yeah, you're flipping it over. It doesn't feel like tuning forks. You'd expect to have some kind of like vibration when you flick them. Like they do make a noise, or like they do
Mhm.
like make a sound when struck.
Mm-hmm.
But this seems fragile. Like you almost don't want to strike it, and you don't see any signs of it having been struck ever. This
Okay.
it still seems like a spell component, just probably not for. Yeah, you don't think it's this a proper tuning fork for plane shift.
Okay. But it also doesn't seem to have the same kind of energy of pride energy that we're looking for.
No, the reflection, as you look at your reflection in the silvered mirror, it seems what you get back is kind of like misty, cloudy, almost like wavery. It's a very faint reflection. Not what you'd imagine. You imagine a prideful reflection being making you look better than
Okay.
you are, or showing off how good you look. This doesn't seem to be useful for that, so it's probably not infused with pride. You're not getting that sense anyway.
Okay. That makes sense to me. So then the correlated piece of this investigation was to go back out as far as the hallway in the Pride Wing where we found the cloning mirrors, and see if I could take any pieces of those and if those are what we're looking for. We had some indication that that would be the case. I think it was from the notes.
Yeah, I mean, you can try that. You make your way over to, while Asher is still trying to understand this book, you make your way over to the broken but semi-repaired mirrors that were flanking the entry hall. And you pull out a few shards that have been kind of glued in. They're good, but you're able to pull them off. And looking at them, again, your image in these feels like distorted. Like when you get a good glimpse of your eye, it feels like if you just hold it up to your eye, like one of the shards to your eye, you get a hint of malice from these mirrors. This also doesn't quite feel right. Give me a perception check.
No tiny clones jumping out, right?
No tiny clones jumping
No
out.
evil dead
It seems
here?
like it would need to be more fully repaired for that to work.
Okay.
Encouragement to repair it.
34. Perception.
Okay. As you're walking back to the group, let's see. You see Rock is just sitting in front of the statue. You pass by the bodies, and the light is from the chandeliers is flickering in the reflections of the mirrors that surround this whole hall. And you turn and catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror. And you hadn't noticed it before because you were so focused on fighting, but Dan, you look good. And you realize you approach the mirror and you realize that, wait a sec, that's not exactly how you look. You know you have a scar like across your eye. You know you have this like wisp of white hair from when you died and came back. But those aren't present in the mirror. The mirror shows you like more fully closely shaven, no shaving nicks from your attempt at using Greshy's well-worn razor. You look flawless in this mirror.
Okay. Does every mirror in this hall seem to be that way?
Yes.
Wow, okay. I guess I didn't think that they would be all of these mirrors done in that way, but that's pretty impressive. All right, well, I think I know which mirror he was referring to then, so I'll go back and hang with the other folks and relay that to them. Rather than the evil clone mirrors, I think it's simply all of the mirrors in the large room here, the large hall, have this property.
Lucky.
That's a
I'll
lot.
make that a bit easier.
It's a lot of items. It's a lot of mirrors. So we can maybe break one later and then see if the fragments still have enough charge to do that, or if we need to sort of dismantle it carefully or something like that.
Mhm.
Take one down.
Did we happen to hit any of the ones in the main hall? I know we hit some in the hallway. Well, I hit some in the hallway on the way here.
Given
I don't
all
know
the
if we
spells that we're throwing around, like including a sunburst, we might have done some damage.
Some shattering might have happened. I didn't honestly check to take stock of damage there. I was a bit busy.
Yeah, there's probably a few shards here and there. The sunburst probably melted some of the mirrors. Yeah, there's probably some fragments already around on the ground.
Cool. We can go look for those a little later.
I'll do. In the meantime, just to learn anything, we don't know how to do magic math. Did you figure anything out about that little hexagonal mirror?
No, I still think this is some kind of other spell component from something else that he might have. Perhaps this is used for his cloning or something like that. I don't know. Given that he had it, in his desk. Well, so the only other things on my list all require us to rest and get spells back so that we can read some of these books.
Seems like a good thing to do, I suppose. Asher and I can work on Thessalonian some more, unless Asher has something better to do.
Nothing better to do with my time in this place.
Okay. So with that, you guys decide to chill out in this room for a bit and just relax. As much as relaxing as you can do. Gunn, your mind is just running over the various facts that you guys have learned, thinking about the contents of the letters, thinking about the bodies that you've just seen. Asher, you're trying to distract yourself by just reading out random words that you see on these various Thessalonian books that are on the table.
Word. Word.
Trying to explain to Greshy what the words mean.
Look.
You said that one already.
Oh, it's a good one though.
It is a good one. It has a very nice, like, sound to it.
So after a couple of hours pass, you eventually feel like you're about ready to re-prepare your spells, if you wish. You effectively gain the benefits of a long rest.
All right. That is nice. And still no sleep, still not feeling hungry or anything of the sort?
No, not feeling hungry at all, not feeling...
I think I used to
You feel fine. In fact, while you guys have been in here so long, Greshy and Asher, you didn't like this place when you first came in. You felt like it was oppressive, it was weird, it was ostentatious. But it's starting to not feel that bad. The nice velvet carpet is very, very plush, very comfortable. It's maybe got like a layer of memory foam underneath. That's nice. You've never felt that before. You could get used to these accommodations. You almost wish you had these kinds of accommodations all the time. You're no longer suffering from the -2s while in this wing of the Runeforge.
We need to get out of here.
Convenient. Yeah, we have
All
to
right.
leave.
All right, I suppose that's fair, but
We know his bed is made of stone. There's no way there's memory foam under here.
it's true, we did find that illusion.
We did. Not sure how much I believe anymore in here, but
We have lots of books in here to look through. So I would have prioritized anything else that might let us learn any spells that are interesting, or anything about the Rune Forge well in the center of the Rune Forge, or about other rune wells in general.
Okay. If you're searching for books that were not the ones that were already listed to you, that would be either a perception check or an arcana check, library lore if you've got library lore, or some other similar check. What check you use changes what kinds of books you can find.
Okay, I'll probably go ahead and cast a 4th level comprehend languages on everybody, so that we can all search and read.
all right.
And that gives you guys how much time?
Oh, and I'll have Rock in it before an hour.
1 hour. Okay.
Be a lot of skimming, but we'll see what we can find.
And I can... Actually, I'll cast that at 3rd level, which lets you read but not... No, wait, does that... Let me confirm this. There's one level where you can read but not speak. And then there's one level where it lets you do it to everybody, and I forget which one comes first.
4th lets you target up to 10 creatures with 1 cast.
Okay, then it's
anything below 4th is probably not what you want.
Yeah, so 4th level, comprehend languages. Got it.
Okay. So you cast on the group, and you've got an hour to... I guess it's just you and Greshy who really need the casting, but I guess it does help Asher understand things that he might not understand otherwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we understand magic math better with this spell on?
I think I understand Arcana any better.
You can understand what the words are a little bit better, because there's certainly a lot of words that you were just guessing at before, but it's not gonna... It'll help somewhat, but only up to Asher's own understanding of magic math, as it were.
Which is low.
Not too complicated.
By the
Okay,
way, should Greshy and I also recover some hit points based as if we had a long rest?
Yes.
That's part of the benefit, isn't it?
Time's gone.
Yeah, if you guys effectively spent about 4 hours just chilling in here, that's the equivalent of a long rest.
Full.
Okay, yeah, that puts me at full too.
Sorry.
Cool. Just...
Okay.
And Best Boy
So, yeah.
is still feeling his best.
If you're searching for books, you pick a skill that you think would help you find interesting books and roll that skill, and I'll tell you what you find.
All right. I'm gonna have to go with Arcana. It's not gonna be a very good roll though, but I think that's gonna be the most useful one. Go ahead and make that roll. 27, but I think I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay, natural 8 for 27. Asher and Gunn, what would you guys like to roll?
I'd like to use athletics so I can find the biggest, thickest, heaviest, manliest books in the... No, I don't know. Perception.
Okay, perception.
Oh, I know what I should have done. I'm dumb.
Oh, that's not great. Yeah, not too great.
Okay,
23
from
for me.
Gunn, with a natural 3.
I'm looking for books on the topic of the Rune Forge or Rune Well.
Okay.
And every book that I find that's in good shape that's not about that, I'm probably going to go ahead and put in a pile. The to be put in the sack pile.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm going to separate broken old books from good condition books while I'm doing
All
that.
right. And Asher.
Go for occultism.
Occultism? Alright. Looking for the weird books.
For a 28. I want to find those weird books.
Okay. So yeah, Greshy is focused on finding subjects of arcane importance and scanning for important arcane words and dismissing things that look like they're rudimentary fundamentals, that sort of thing. Asher is looking for books that might have weird symbols on them, that have interesting seem to have interesting lore and weird shit going on. Gunn is just doing a real quick scan, just visual scan for literally the word rune, to see if he can find anything with the rune on it, on any of the covers. So the three of you have both this, the room where you found Frexeris's body and the area across the hall, where there's books all over the place. So you guys are just kind of meandering around for this hour, collecting anything that you find that could be interesting or relevant to your interests. So you spend about, I would say, maybe 20 minutes or so of your hour just kind of digging around for books that could be interesting. And then coming back to the central area and laying them all on, or back to the first room you were in, laying them out on the desk and starting to sort through them as quickly as you can before your reading time runs out. Let's see. Greshy with a 27. You did find a section of spell books that seem to be very focused on high-level illusion magic. Within these books are basically all of the common illusion spells, as well as a number of uncommon ones. But perhaps more interesting than that is you come across a scattered... Well, you come across the spine of a collected work on Simulacrum. The ritual to create a simulacrum. Many of the pages are torn out, but you managed to collect what seems to be all of the missing pages scattered around in the room that's been kind of torn apart.
Oh, nice work, Greshy.
But you do now have, basically a couple of tomes on illusion spells where you could search them to find specific illusion spells. Including uncommon and rare ones, and then you have another book that is the Simulacra Ritual. It's not as advanced as whatever Vraxaris was doing, but it's definitely like the beginner version of that.
It's still a pretty good thing to know.
Let's see. That was the 27. Gunn, the 23. You're looking at any subject on runes, rune wells, rune forge, anything like that. There don't seem to be any books or subjects on the rune forge itself, because it seems like it was a very... I mean, you guys already know that people didn't really write about it. It was a thing that people didn't know about. But you do find a section of what were clearly more of Vraxaris' notes. There's some, there's a couple of, like, rough notes on the rune well itself, but nothing, I guess just kind of flipping through it, and trying to make some sense out of, what he's written. It seems like the rune well is, the Runeforge pool, is powered by, it's powered by some force external to the Runeforge itself. Some power source that the Runelords controlled. And part of the agreement to build the Runeforge was that all of the Runelords would supply like a feed of magic into it. And you see some notes about Vraxaris seems to have been calculating the how much energy was left in the pool as people within the Runeforge have been using it. And it seems to have just been on a very steady decline. And that if there is a way to refill the Runeforge pool, it's something that's external to the Runeforge that the Runelords themselves know how to do. But not anyone who's inside the Runeforge.
Perhaps that's indeed what makes you a Runelord.
Perhaps.
Could be. Might not just be a title.
On rune wells themselves, you find a few books about magical rune wells, but they don't seem to say anything about... rune wells themselves seem to be collection points for sin, if a rune well is attuned to a certain sin, then it picks up souls that die within a radius, and converts their spirit energy into arcane energy within the well itself. Some of the Runelords have been known to do advanced magic or advanced things with their own rune wells. Elasnus was known to use her rune wells to create sin spawn, specifically wrath spawn. But this is all really basic information. It sounds like a rune well itself is merely one of these pools that collects energy, and then that energy can be used for other stuff. It's
Okay.
rune well juice.
Would there be more than one rune well of a given type then?
Yes, it sounds like there could be infinite numbers of them, and they could serve infinite purposes. They're usually built with each one is usually built with a specific singular purpose. But your guess is that Karzoug, the rune well that's called Karzoug's rune well, is probably something within Zinshalast that he used for his own, like he made it for his own ritual. That seems to be part of bringing him
Probably
back.
like his biggest and best one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
what
you
it
think he
sounds
made
like.
it, or I think he made it specifically for this purpose of recovering
Yes.
if you were killed or whatever the hell happened to him. Okay.
Yeah. It's possible that other Runelords did the same thing, but that would be an implication that you make separately from what you read here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing here says like a rune well specifically is to bring you back. It's just a power source. Okay, and then that leaves Asher, who was looking for weird books.
Weird shit.
Weird shit. You, Asher, with a 28, managed to come across this is weird in a slightly different way than you were expecting, perhaps. You come across a section of self-help books.
Oh.
Occult self-help books?
Yes, occult self-help books. They've got some strange. You're immediately drawn to the very bizarre looking art on the covers, or on the spines, and like you pull one out, and it's kind of like a almost like metal album cover that says something like oh shit, where's my yeah, you have one that's got like a bunch of people clearly being sacrificed in some kind of like dark circle ritual. Their like throats are being slit, blood spewing everywhere, and at the top it reads "Top 10 Tips for Becoming an Influencer."
Oh.
Another one has a goat skull with a bandana wrapped around its eyes, and it's called "Leading the Blind." And the third interesting book that you find. This one's got a lot of weird occult symbols for the infinite, or infinity. A lot of just kind of like circling snakes and like looping symbols all over it. It seems to be a spell book, but it's fairly fresh. There's not much written in here. It looks like it was very lightly used. But it seems to be some kind of magical tome or grimoire.
Hey then.
So that is what you find.
I like my title. I shared with the chat, but Will does not seem to like it. How to summon your inner demons.
Just nah.
Fine.
All right, I'll take the bad omens. Okay. So yeah, that's what you guys all find in your search.
Fun. Well, start reading, I suppose. See what we can break down of this information. I don't know how much of this illusion stuff is going to be useful for me, though.
Seems like it could help, although we're preparing to... I think we discussed preparing spells that would use against that iron creature in the Wrath Wing.
And it was weak to... What was it, Asher?
Acid?
No, acid.
Acid.
Not Asher.
That's right. Asher shid?
Asher.
Ashard.
Asher shit.
Ashard.
Ashard. It's weak to Ashard.
It is weak to Ashard.
Ashard.
So we'll just send Ashard at it.
I'll touch it. I'm sure some parts of me are acidic.
Unfortunately, corrosive body does not work on other people. Otherwise, I would offer to allow you to just touch it. Because that would be fun.
I don't think it's weak to acid even. I think that's the only thing that can
It can hurt it.
Damage
yeah.
it, but
yeah.
if you do have corrosive body, you can just hug it, and it just
Aw.
hurts it. It's fun. It also hurts you a bit if it beats you, but you know, small things.
No, it's fine. You guys bring me back. I'll hug the thing. Fine.
We'll just have you hug it forever. I have prepared a bit for it, so I think we'll be okay.
Cool.
But
I have
Yeah,
one
but
acid
as-
cantrip.
As
I
far as
prepared.
books go, you've got about 30 bulk worth of books here.
Mm.
I don't know if you guys are taking all of that and if you can fit all of that.
well, we can
we have-
fit all of it, but that's a lot of space it's
Yeah,
taken
we
up.
have 2 bags of holding that each have space, 25 space
No,
total.
I-
Type 2.
it was a type 2 and a type 1.
Oh, okay.
So it should be 20. It should be 75 total, I think. I might still be overstating that, but I have to double check. But I think it was 25 and 50.
Well, how about this? I'll locate some twine or string if there's anything around here that would serve. If not, I have rope.
That's fair.
And we'll tie up the books into bundles. We'll take all these essential ones that we found that seem to have like important spells that we can learn and make that one bundle. And we'll take the extra ones and make them another bundle. That way we don't have to sort them out later if we don't have enough space. But for now, there's no real reason not to try to bring those with us.
Throw them
Sure.
at people.
So
Lost
the-
information that we could bring back to the world.
You've got about 5. I said 30 total. So you've got 5.
30 total.
5 bulk of essential books, or what you've labeled as interesting essential books, and 25 bulk of
Mhm.
other miscellany that you could later sift through.
Cool. That works.
And as I said, we do have room in the bags. It's just that is a lot of space. It would be
Mhm.
taken up.
Yeah, what if we find a cool painting later?
You know, cool paintings actually don't take up that much space. You'd be surprised.
A 3,000 bulk. Well, I guess that wouldn't matter.
Condense,
A
flatten.
60-pound, 60 bulk painting. And
Now,
it's
if you do find some
beautiful.
like sculpture or something, that would be.
Ooh.
We'd want to transport it. We'd have a difficult time. Then we
a
got the books.
golem.
And books are art. Maybe I don't know. I don't really do that much reading on the site.
I'm sure
Got
there's
rare
some
spell
in
books
there.
and Thessalonian books added to the list of stuff that's in the bag.
Excellent.
And a book about influencing.
Hi. How to influence your influencers or something.
How to be an influencer.
How to
No.
make
All 3 of
friends
those books,
and-
Asher, seem to be magical, by the way.
Oh! Hooray! My magical book.
Sorry, I wasn't. Those weren't just because it was funny. They're also magical.
Oh, okay, good. I was like, I thought you were just being silly.
What's
I
wrong
was
with being
taking them
silly?
either way.
Both.
How to make friends and ritually murder them?
Well, I mean, we
Right.
could take some
Is
time
that
to
one of these
identify
ones
them.
that's in there?
And they're dead at the end. True friends. Alright, well that's good. They're not useless. Maybe they are, but they're magical at least.
And that's good. Well, let's take it all with us and go somewhere else.
Oh, I suppose it would be how to make friends and sacrifice people. That's the one.
Yeah.
So are we going? Are we all set?
But
Number one.
Yep. Yeah, that's everything.
leave.
That's everything from my list of tasks.
We're going to ignore the Rexeri on the floor. We're going to gather. Do we need to get any more mirror things?
I guess they're out there. Yeah, do you want the
Oh,
shards, I
we
guess?
definitely need some mirror shards.
Who wants to go break some mirrors? I hear it's
Let's
bad
see.
luck.
Let's see if there are any already broken.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can head out, and there's a few sections of mirror that are broken. You could, if you're just scooping up the things that are already broken, you can get about 3 light bulk worth of mirror. But you can obviously shatter as much as you want. It's a big space.
Does that seem... How many pieces roughly seems like one equivalent of Asher's invested items?
My 3 items.
Well, that 3 light bulk seems like not quite enough. If Greshy is using Read Aura, did Greshy prep Read Aura today for this day?
He did
you
prep
guys
Read Aura.
prep
He also prepped Detect Magic today.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did prep my
Yeah, we
spells.
did.
I was just
And
going through and updating.
Incidentally, I would have, before we prepared, I would have put Rock back in pet cache.
Okay. That's fine. Yeah, so if you're going off of Greshy's, like, Asher places one of the objects on the ground, you kind of pile up some mirror pieces beside it to see if it's like an equivalent amount of energy that it's giving off. And it seems like you need about a bulk of mirror shard to match one of these items.
Which is great, because Greshy pulls out his sling and starts slinging bullets around.
And I guess
Ooh,
we're going
there
to
he
start
goes.
breaking 3 bulk worth of mirrors.
Okay. Yeah, you just start
Well, or at least 2.
3? Let's go for 3.
Yeah,
We
go
can.
for 3. Have a spare one.
They're relatively easy to
I'm
shatter.
not sure we were going
so,
to make
The
Greshy
mirrors.
a physical weapon.
use up about 5 bullets, I guess, and you can get 3 bulk,
bulk worth.
of shattered glass.
Let's steal it twice the price. So 29 bullets. I've had these bullets since the beginning of the game.
Now you have less.
Aren't you glad? Because what would we do without them?
You never know.
If you shatter
never
them from
know.
far away, the bad luck can't reach you.
Hmm.
Not sure. See, that's why we keep you around. You know about this occultism stuff.
Yeah,
I would never have
know.
known something about that.
You're safe, Greshy.
See, curses, that's not really my thing. I don't know much about them, so
The mirror curse only has like a
there's a
5-foot
radius.
diameter, so you're pretty safe. Not
But that's
very
good.
far.
That's good to keep in mind. So you're saying, though, if I stay on the other side of Phelan and break it, though, maybe if I
Yeah,
use a
that's-
stick?
Well, then
Well-
Phelan might.
You
Oh,
wouldn't
but
get
want,
bad
Phelan, that's
luck.
true. We
right,
wouldn't
you
want
wouldn't
that to
want to
happen.
pass this on to
Yeah.
Phelan.
But you have the
That's-
10-foot rod.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
So
you had to
he'd
break.
be
We could have used the
safe.
10-foot pole and saved some bullets.
We could have, but this was more fun.
I think we're okay, though.
Anyway, did you get those all gathered up?
Yes.
All right.
We have 3 bulk of mirror fragments to go in the bag as well.
And we shall
And
head
we'll be
to
very
the
careful
reflex
when we
save.
dump them out. We'll be very careful when we dump it out again. Sure, I'll roll a reflex save.
Sure, whoever's handling the mirror shards.
Well, Greshy was over here directing traffic, so
Okay,
Very
sure.
sharp. Be careful.
I guess it probably should just been a thievery check, but sure, yeah. You managed to jumble the shards of glass around fine. You're wearing gauntlets, I think, so you're able to get them into your
That's true.
bags without cutting yourself up.
Cool.
well, are my gloves still not working?
Oh, good question.
Yeah,
Greshy's
how am I
gloves and
It's a
Asher's
question of
armor.
24 hours or upon reset-ish. Because it hasn't been 24 hours, I know that much, but it's reset, obviously, so I don't know if they would fix themselves.
Yes, they don't. Hold on, let me double check what I wrote. But I don't think that they reset yet. Sorry, just pull up my notes. Yes, they have not reset yet. The power is returning slowly, but they're not fully reactivated.
It's a very pastel pink, kind of a Wes Anderson sort of vibe we're going for.
Yeah, the same seems to be true of Asher's Rune. Likewise, Gunn, you're still affected by this pride enchantment.
Oh,
Sorry,
that they
the one,
hit me
the
with.
one
Oh,
that you got hit with. You're still feeling very,
You're in the battle?
very
It made me-
boastful, and when you fail at something, you
And
feel
cut.
pretty annoyed.
Ah, okay.
It's
Well,
no.
that's fine.
Hmm.
Let's move out, and on our way back to the central area, we can determine among our three options what to do next.
Hooray.
Option
Okay.
1, just try to do the enchanting of some weapons right now. Like if we have both types of item and we have some weapons, we could
Yeah.
potentially just do that and try. Option 2, head towards Wrath and try to take down this iron golem and investigate there, where we're looking for potentially one of our options for a way out, and the other one is head back to Lust and try to find out if Delvaheen has the tuning fork we're looking for. Something tells me that Delvaheen won't be quite as accommodating if we show up again. She'll probably be more annoyed.
Unless I want to participate in activities yet again.
That could be.
I'm not here to volunteer for that.
Yeah.
I'll do it if the world needs me. Also, if we bumble these 3 items, I'm probably going to have to do it again.
So, in which case, we should probably start here first
Mhm.
before
Yeah.
we take Asher over and make him go through all of that again.
She,
Whatever he was doing in there.
if
Love.
I had a guess,
Right.
she was happy to let us do the dirty work here, so to speak, and maybe more interested in the items, in the weapons that we're about to make than in anything else
Mm.
that we're actually doing.
Perhaps. Well, I'm happy to play around with trying to see what this forge thing can do.
I think we have Rexaris's notes on the process
Mhm.
to guide us. Let's just walk through the steps and.
Whose weapon do we want to enchant first?
Out of the weapons that we have here, we have several options. We have my longsword. We have Asher's longbow. We have the the bastard sword, the holy bastard sword that we found. We have the Dragonbane longbow that we found. We have the dagger, the returning dagger that we found, and the new dagger that we just got from Vexeris. Plus anything that Greshy might have, but
I have a stick.
Yeah.
I have a couple sticks, in fact. I have this stick, and then he pulls out one of the wands. Got this stick. This one's not working still. I'll get back to it. Got another stick someplace. Don't know where that broken stick went, though. Wand.
For that matter, I should... If Asher has a bow already, I should change my backup +1 longbow for this Dragonbane one. Just in case. To wear.
Didn't hurt to have.
While we go.
Don't expect our Chris to jump on our heads, but
right.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So, let's start with Asher's bow.
Okay.
Okay.
If nothing else, we have a couple of backup bows if we have to, but...
That's true.
And yeah, well, actually, now that you mention it, I have another question, Greshy. I think this one will be pretty clear, but are we fairly confident that we would need to do this to a bow and not to an arrow?
I'm not, actually. To be perfectly honest, I'm sure that there are enchantments on a bow that apply to any shot that comes from the bow.
Yeah,
but then
the
there are also
applies to my arrows.
And so does the fire and the...
Right,
Yeah.
so that's where I'm thinking that it's better to do the bow.
Okay,
That's a good
I
question.
agree that that's likely to work.
It's also possible you could create arrows of a certain kind that do special things, but they may not be the same as whatever weapons we're making. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like they have an effect, but not the same.
Okay.
I could be entirely wrong. I have no idea. I've never done this before.
We could be absolutely wrong. It could explode.
That's entirely true. That's why I suggest we all gather around it as we start working on this. That way, when it goes, we all go together.
All right.
If we're all going to explode.
We'll end it here. Well, we can
Well,
try
let's
with my
let's
bow.
follow the instructions and try
Yes.
to get Asher's bow enchanted with dominant.
At least I'm attuned to one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
And you're attuned to the other one, I guess.
I think so.
That's true. So there's a plus for each of you.
Oh boy.
And I'm just unhappy everywhere.
Oh, sorry, Greshy. We'll find your weird hallway.
Okay. Well, so Asher, you would like to go through this process with the with your frosty, flamey, strikey longbow.
Yeah. Good luck,
Also
longbow.
Okay.
I love
So-
you.
You start. You're the only one who can read this now, so you start reading through the process and explaining it or reading it out to Greshy, and Greshy is trying to parse that into like actual instructions. And the first step is to imbue the pool with some basic cantrips that are very easy to learn and cast. So Greshy begins to do that. The pool begins to bubble and radiate, and there seems to be a different arcane phrase that needs to be a word of power that needs to be used for the two sins that you're using. So you read in the rune for pride and the rune for lust, and he starts chanting those. And as he does pride, the pool starts to glow a brilliant green, and then when he starts doing the lust phrase, it starts to glow a bright pink, and then the two colors start to swirl together, a bit like a yin yang sort of thing. The symbol, they just kind of swirl in unison. Until the pool forms like a perfect spiral, in the center. The next step is to place the weapon into the pool, lower it carefully. So Asher, you take the longbow out and start to lower it into the pool. And the last step of the process is to imbue it with a name of power. What is this longbow going to be called from henceforth?
Oh god, I wasn't ready for this. Do you know how long it takes me in character creation, Jason, to come up with a name? I'm gonna end up calling the bow Steve, Jason. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh, you have some time. You can think about it. There's no rush here.
What will I call my bow?
Yeah, you get to this part and you realize that you all skipped over it multiple times while reading the notes earlier. And now you're at a bit of a
we
loss.
actually named the damn thing.
That is tricky.
Where's your train of thought taking you?
Nowhere. Actually, what was my mom's name? Did she have a cool name? I actually as a person forget.
Oh,
if she had a cool
I
name.
do know your mom's name. I can bring it up.
Mother Bow.
Ugh. Let me dig.
We dig. Well, this is something you have to think about too, Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As well, we need to
your
decide which
names.
weapon we're going to be using for Gunn.
Chat is also offering some names if you check chat.
I'd like to
feel
go
free to-
gross sword.
Gross sword.
Ah, yes. Gross sword.
What was her name?
You know, I know that's a suggestion for Gunn, but as a name for Asher's bow, Gross Sword is a pretty great name.
Gross sword.
Gross Sword of the bow.
It's like shit. It's a bow, and it's been named.
It's like we have to come up with a name right away, and Asher's just like, Gross Sword. Shit.
Let's name it.
Why can't I find this one character's name?
I'm
Okay, let me
looking
check.
here.
Let me check my DMs because I know I sent you her name at some
Yeah, you
point.
DM'd me.
Shoot.
The two sins in question are pride and lust, and the combination is a dominant weapon.
Yes, a weapon of dominance.
The best, the best, the best.
What? Where was it? Oh no.
Heartstrings.
I feel like I'm getting close.
Okay, let me check one other spot. I make entirely too many notes files for this game.
Oh boy.
Oh, I found it. I
Oh, you
don't
did?
know if I can pronounce this. Viere? Viere with a thing over it.
Sorry, how do you spell it? V-I...
Viere, and the E has a little dongle. I don't know what that's called. On the top.
Oh, the Pokemon E is probably what I did. Ah, yes, Viere.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an
Viere.
accent?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Viere forward.
Alright. There we go. We've named it. It's just Viere.
I liked Heartstring. That was pretty good.
Oh,
Too bad.
All right. You think for a while, almost forgetting your mother's name.
Cap.
You hadn't heard it out loud in so long. You've always just thought of her as mom, or mother, or whatever words that you would normally use. You try to trace back to what her name really was. You look at the amulet that you're carrying, the locket, and you see the letters VF. And suddenly you're hit with a childhood memory of Jakardros at the door. He still had his both his eyes back then. You were not, but a toddler, maybe at best.
An infant.
An infant. And you hear him ask for if your mother is there, if Viera is there. And suddenly it hits you, and you speak the name aloud. The pool begins to glow brightly as the weapon is fully infused with the power of these two sins. Greshy completes the final incantations as given in the documents, and the weapon begins to rise up out of the pool and floats towards you, Asher. And then it just kind of stops in front of
Can
you.
I take it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
You
I
reach
assume
out.
I can take it now.
Yeah, you reach out and grasp the bow. It gives off a brilliant light as the pool dims a bit, and you watch the water level begins to recede. Or I guess as the weapon came out, the water level receded below where it had been before. And yeah, the weapon in your hand feels strong, feels powerful. You're not sure yet what it does, but it makes you feel different. It makes you feel like you can do anything. Like you now have the power that you wanted to protect your friends, to protect your family. And you all hear something start to move.
I think it worked.
You hear a rumbling sound as the ground beneath your feet begins to shake. You hear the sound of creaking stone as across from the pool, directly in front of you, Asher, you see the statue of Karzoug begin to move. The eyes begin to glow green with envy. I guess with greed in this case. The eyes begin to glow a bright green as the mouth begins to twist. The cracks of stone crumble to the ground. So you think that you can just create weapons that could defeat me? The statue begins to twist, pull one of its legs off of the pedestal. Everyone roll initiative.
Yeah, you might want to just start shooting.
How exciting!
That's okay. All right. Well, let's just do that. Could be better. Could be worse.
Sorry, I guess he was. I know he'd actually speak in common at this point. Oops, I just
right.
Where? Turn. Oh.
Also, battle cry.
Okay, yeah, you can attempt your battle cry.
That is actions. Boom. Ah, natural one.
You haven't used your hero points?
Yeah, you catch something in your throat as you attempt to give out a roar of power. Where am I? Okay. bonus. There it is. So that's...
Was he hiding in the statue all along?
Okay,
Is this where they went?
So Karzoug has a 46, Asher's got a 38, Gunn's got a 36, Greshy's got a 30.
Dang.
Mhm.
Okay, so the statue, immediately begins to move. I see, it's you all again. I can't help but be inspired by your optimism. Alas, your weapons will never reach Zinshalast. Your fate is death here in the Rune Forge. It says it begins to stomp forward. Let's see. What is it going to do? Okay. It's going to stomp forward. That is not. Delete that. Okay, there it is. So it's going to stomp forward. 20 to about there. So I guess about here. It'll do the other way.
Oh yeah, this place is smaller than
Yeah. It is.
it seems.
I guess I could give it like an aura that's the actual spaces that it is, but it should be large, basically. Yes, it stomps over toward... I'll just make him look fat. It stomps over towards Asher, and is immediately going to take a big swing. I'll go ahead and use my... I've got a bunch of points, so let's go ahead and use some points right now. All 9, let's go.
Am I
On a
in
natural
range?
20
I'm
where it
on,
doesn't
like,
matter.
On a square. A natural 20 and ooh. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I
that's
just
it's
wanted
definitely
to know
a
if I'm
crit.
within 15 feet of him because
I keep getting clocked by these attacks.
because
I
I'm
don't
on
think
a,
you are.
I'm on a weird square though. I'm not.
Are you not on
You're on
this
an actual square. Yeah, you're on a real square.
Why is
Don't-
my measuring not working?
Measure from yourself.
Okay.
He's 20
Two.
feet away.
Oh, I see the problem.
Okay, I see. Well,
I guess it's square.
what a
isn't it?
Oh.
what a bad coincidence. He stopped just outside the range where I can help you.
Yeah, he's kind of there. Okay. Yeah, so he is going to swing this glaive down upon you. And that is going to be, yes, that is a critical, so we roll... What's that? 63 points of bludgeoning damage as the glaive comes right down and slams into you.
My goodness.
All right, that is your turn, Asher. Or it is your turn now,
Ow,
Asher.
my head.
I was like, and that's on your turn. Wait till you see what I do on my turn.
Just you wait.
Stop hitting yourself.
Alright, well, I'm gonna hunt prey him first. So that's a great use of my time. Kill him once. Come back. I wanna hang out with Gunn over here.
Yeah, come back by me for sure. This way.
My second, and then I am going to shoot at him twice and see what happens with my new bow, if anything at all. Maybe we won't hit him. A 34 and a 33.
Okay, 34 and 33. Let's see. Thing. Okay. Both of those will hit. Roll damage.
Oh, okay. Wee. Damage. 1 and 2. It's like I don't know if the frost and flame matter.
Sure. So you did this as a hunted strike?
Yes.
Correct? Okay. Sorry, so you've moved, you hunted prey, and then you hunted shot. Okay. So mark him. Hunted shot, they combine, the damage combines for the purposes of weakness
Oh,
resistance.
so I don't need to do never mind.
Sorry, that was a question.
Yes, I think all of it combines. I'm not
Okay.
100% sure.
I can double check.
For
Hunted
resistances,
shot,
yeah.
combines for the purposes of resistance and weaknesses. Okay, cool. That is what he needs
Yeah,
to
I'm
know.
like I'm 90% sure that's true.
Yes, that is what it says. Okay, so it does have a resistance.
Altogether, it looks like you have
plus 12.
Is that
Uh,
2d8 per hit? Do you need a second 2d8?
No, it's only for the first
first shot gets it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it is 1 per,
Okay, so
Right.
it's 48 points of piercing
but
damage.
it doubles
That
on
gets-
crit.
The 48 will get reduced, but only once because it's because you've combined
Mhm.
the shots. The one shot hits and the second shot lands in the same spot and cracks through its very, very tough outer shell. Sorry, I'm losing myself. Okay. That happens. We reduce damage, and then we have the frost and flame. Okay.
Looks like a total of 11 frost and 10 flame. If you the way we've been doing it.
Yes, neither the frost nor the flame managed to break through this golem's shell.
Okay.
But the two shots do hit, and you do manage to like pierce through its rough exterior. Okay, sorry, there's a lot of things to suddenly read because I wasn't expecting this fight to happen today. Gunn.
Well, I'm gonna have to draw my gear, I think, because I might have had my
Correct.
sword out since we were preparing to do weapons, but I'll definitely have to draw my shield at least.
I would say you have to draw both. I don't think you had
Okay.
either out of this
Oh.
time.
I was pondering powering up my sword, and I was thinking about what its name would be, so I might have had it out, but
Give me a D100 if it's above a 55. Then you had your sword out.
37. Nope.
Okay, you did not have
Well,
your sword
two
out.
actions to draw, one to move and put myself here between my teammates and the statue,
Okay.
but hopefully still within 15 feet of Asher. Nope, 20. Okay, let's make it here instead.
Okay.
He did
you
move
run
up
close
next
and
to
then
Asher.
back up a step.
When he was attacking Asher, he moved next to Asher before he attacked. Does he look like he
did
has
happen
long-
to, yes. I mean, he's got a huge glaive. It looks like he's got reach.
Well, I think it's more important that I'm ready to protect my teammates than it is that. Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm gonna take a spot here, and that's it for me.
All right, Greshy.
Great, fantastic. I have no idea what to do with you because you're giant and possibly some sort of defenses that I'm not sure about. Can I figure out, is this just a statue or is this actually Karzoug here now?
That would
Are we
be
just beating up a rock?
give me an Arcana check.
Recall knowledge of some sort?
Arcana. For an action.
Or how bad is that going to be? Oh, not too bad. 35.
35. Okay. The way this statue is moving, it's almost certainly another golem. Like, you just saw one of these before.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's the same type of golem, but it's probably just being possessed by Karzoug. It's got a lot of the same... You watched Karzoug possess another entity before. You saw it happen with Mirian, and this looks like the same kind of green energy possessing an object.
Okay. But destroying the object would prevent it from being possessed, so either way is fine. Could I tell if it took any sort of special damage from Asher's attacks? For example, specifically like the fire and ice, did they both get completely negated?
It looked like the fire and the ice both, yes, got completely negated.
Alright, well then we're going to try lightning, and we will spend our remaining 2 actions this round to cast Electric Arc at it. And see if it can dodge.
Oh, actually, no, the cold damage did work. Whoops.
That may change.
Sorry. The cold damage should have worked. You may change that if you wish. Yes, the cold damage should have done.
Did it seem
bad?
Something.
It did seem to take damage. It didn't seem to do anything else.
It took quite a lot of damage from the cold, actually.
It's unfortunate because.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't actually have a cold spell prepared today. I dropped it in favor of Acid Splash. So.
Okay, yeah. So the shots from Asher, they did. The two bits of frost actually burst into. It like created a fissure in the whatever. You're not really sure what material this statue is made of, but whatever it is, those 2 shots hitting right where they did created like a gap, and the frost like caused it to expand and cracked it open.
One. I'm going to instead attack with Acid Splash at that target that Asher made. See if that does something. Because I don't think it's going to do damage, but I'm hoping it won't energize the damn thing. 39 to hit.
39 does hit. You splash some acid at it, and that causes, as it hits that spot where the cold had like separated the opposite material, the acid begins to cause that material to start to melt and reform over the gap, strengthening it.
All right, well, that's good to know, I suppose.
Greshy, is your damage? Oh, no.
So you effectively undid some of the damage.
I figured.
Might not be right here also because
it should be 3d6, I suppose. So another d6.
That doesn't matter. It's a separate roll that I did. So.
Oh, okay. Well then, it would have been 10.
Yes, you healed him some amount.
Fair enough. Great. And Phelan for his action will just come up behind Greshy, I suppose.
Okay.
And wait for an order.
All right. Top of the round. The statue looks around at you all, and his eyes focus on Asher, and he is going to start by just charging forward. So let's see, where is he? He's here. Where's my ruler? There's my ruler. Doesn't need to charge all the way, but he will.
Anything adjacent to me is going to be difficult terrain.
Oh, that's a good point. So that's 5, 15, 20. Okay, so that would be... That's as far as he can get then. He will... Oh, can he then? Hold on, I have to... Okay, yeah. So yeah, it's going to start charging forward. Gunn, if you want to stop it from moving further, you can give me a fortitude save. Otherwise, it's going to just plow right through you.
Okay. I'll definitely do a fort save. And we have a 41.
Safe.
41. Okay, you managed to like hold your ground and stop it from pushing onward. So it just ends up stopping here. Will raise its glaive overhead and do a actually, it'll pulse with green energy outward. I need a fortitude save from Gunn, Phelan, Greshy.
I'd say probably all of us. Fortitude, alright.
As this like green mist
I'll go ahead and
spews out.
Use my hero point to reroll my nat 1 on that.
It's a 5.
Getting a 5 for 31.
Alright.
So Greshy got a 29 and Phelan got a 38.
Okay. Phelan is fine. The other two of you are both slowed 1. As
Great,
this
cool.
mist
All right.
spills out, and you feel your skin start to turn to stone, and your joints start to lock up. But Phelan seems to be able to just shake off the mist. Is then going to use his third action to actually strike, so bringing down the glaive on he'll target Gunn to start
We
with.
moved Cassidan.
Yes, yes. That wasn't really a spell.
Okay.
It was just an effect that it can do. 34 to hit Gunn, I assume does not hit.
That does not hit, yeah.
Okay, so it brings down the glaive towards you. You manage to just kind of parry it away with your shield. But you're still feeling
With
sluggish.
slowed 1, you lose reactions too, is that correct?
Not that I know of. You just lose
no,
one
just
action at the end
actions.
at the beginning of your turn. And I can help with that if y'all want me to go. If you all would let me go first. If not, that's fine.
Oh, well.
I'm okay. I'm not slowed.
Fair enough.
But
Alright, Asher's turn.
well, for my turn's gonna be it's gonna be real hit or miss. But I'm gonna use some fate points, my 9 out of however many I have,
10.
and 10. I use 10.
Oh,
Or
you
I
had
only
10,
have
so you
10.
can use 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, oh boy, 10.
No, you can use 9.
I'm gonna do my Eldritch shooting, which I haven't used in quite some time.
Let's do
I
it.
also have Ray of Frost
Dash.
plus 9. Let's try.
Oh, man. I love when I get to see Asher go off.
Watch it be a 1. 49 to hit.
Well, 49
That's not
is
a one.
critical. Let's go.
Okay. Alright, let's do it. So this is also. I have to.
So we're just gonna watch Asher explode the statue while we're just over here feeling a little slowed and out of it.
We're gonna do 2 Astrals. Then we're going to do
Your
2
extra
spell
2d8.
rolls real quick.
And also like 48 and 2d10, I think.
Yeah, they're coming. Let me get my-
They're on the way.
I have a
Pain's
cute
being
little
delivered.
cheat sheet here. Here's my Ray of Frost. I think I could just hit.
Oh, this will be so much easier when we switch to Foundry.
And then I have my Hunt Prey. Use that.
We'll find all new ways to complicate your life, Jason. Don't worry.
And there's
No need to fret.
2d10. And then some other stuff happens after this. But this is all the damage that is being done.
Okay, so that's 12 and 15 from the initial shot. with another, that's 15 from your precision, and the extra 2d10 is from deadly, so it's another 13. This is 55 base damage. That is partially resisted. So we do that first. Okay, that makes an indent. The frost damage, so the flame damage gets ignored. The frost damage just triggers the golem's anti-magic effect, which we roll that for. That just turns into the equivalent of some damage, and then amusingly, the Ray of Frost, I probably could have just had you not roll the Ray of Frost, because that also just becomes another... it ignores the effect of your actual spell and does a different thing, as the cold damage interacts with its own magic field, and does another instance of that damage, which is still quite a lot. It's about equivalent, I'd say. Okay, so yeah, a big blast of ice, and bursts out. It's just like a huge, like almost ice crystal, like explodes from the statue's glaive arm, and it stumbles back. Clearly, like bits and pieces of it are crumbling onto the floor. The face is contorted into a very disdainful frown as it glances towards you.
There are
Gunn.
3 more things.
Oh, there's 3 more things?
So I assume that the persistent fire damage doesn't matter since it just doesn't take any.
Yeah, all of those crit
possibly
effects
have to
actually
do-
don't matter in this case, except for unless you're trying to pin it.
But what about flat-footed until my next turn? That's a crit thing I have now.
Oh, yes,
If
that
I
is.
shoot it either twice in a round, or 1 crit, they get flat-footed until my next
Yep,
turn.
that would still happen. It's just all the magical effects from the runes.
Also, I think it takes a speed penalty.
I don't know if it takes the fortitude.
Speed penalty from the Ray of Frost.
It ignores the magic effect.
It was a
like I
critical
said.
success.
It
Okay.
ignores
Oh,
the
fair
magic
enough.
effect. Yeah.
So that is fine.
I'm getting the feeling it
magic
ignores the
just
magic
gets
effects,
replaced.
but I'm not sure about that.
I see.
Okay, it is flat-footed from the shot, but all the other effects of the magic don't go off. It just causes a reaction in the sigils that form its body, and the cold just kind of causes a massive burst of energy to shoot out from it. Gunn.
Well, I will also do a strike.
Okay.
My sword and follow up on this thing. To the best of my ability. With a 37 hit.
37 will hit. Roll damage.
Okay. For 25 slashing and 3 sonic.
Okay, the 25 gets reduced as you scrape through this really hard substance. And the sonic damage just doesn't seem to affect it at all. The statue it vibrates, but doesn't seem to be affected.
Okay.
You just kind of slice at its leg and chip some extra stone off.
Greshy, if you have the time, you could get out that other sword. The cold iron might work for me better. We might want to try that one on
With which time do you mean?
If you have any opportunity,
You have one more action. What are you doing?
I think it's in your bag. I'll swing again.
Okay.
So here we go. Hitting it doesn't seem to be too bad, although a 30 after. Oh, was that a 39? If it's flat-footed, does that become a
that was not a crit.
crit? It all that changes my follow-up. Okay.
It does change your follow-up. The 28
Then
to a
I have a
30 does
30.
still hit, so roll damage. just
Try and hit it
barely.
again, but this time I only have 17 points.
Okay, that 17 gets reduced to a very measly amount as you manage to just scrape into it just a little bit more. But
Yeah,
because
this
it was
thing's-
distracted by Asher's shot, you managed to actually land a hit at all. Greshy.
Greshy's going to take his 2 actions this round to charge up some energy and burst it out from him to speed things up a bit. And now Gunn, Asher, Phelan, and Greshy are all quickened as well as, well, for some of us slowed.
Okay.
At the beginning of your round, you get to choose 1 action to be slowed by. You can choose to remove your hastened action if you prefer and still use your 3 actions as normal.
Makes sense.
And with that, since Phelan hasn't gotten any other orders, Phelan will hang out, and that is the end of Greshy's round. Since he does
Okay.
not gain that action until the beginning of his next round.
All right. Top of the round. It is Karzoug Statue's turn. It is going to... Annoyed, it will make a wide swing out towards Asher.
Ooh.
Because I think it can
Reach there.
That's 15 feet, right? No, it's 20 feet.
That says 20. I mean, if you step down there,
The step.
Each of those first
Hi.
3 steps
Oh,
is going
yeah.
to be half.
Sorry, it was here then, so 5,
Yeah.
10, 15, 20.
sure it's close enough
And,
still.
and the next one, because it's still adjacent to me.
Well, no, I mean, it's stopping there.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah,
Gotcha.
it takes 2 steps, and then does a heavy power attack over towards Asher. For 2 actions, let me go and roll.
Power attack.
Where am I on this page? So double check what power attack does.
I assume murders people.
Yeah, okay, just as...
I really hope
think
not,
it
though.
fits.
I'm kind of
Okay,
fond
so
of
that's-
Asher.
I have a power attack. That's a bear. Well, no, that's anything. That's not
It's a
me.
45 to hit Asher.
45. That's a crit.
That's a crit? Ooh, excellent.
Yeah, that's
I-
a crit.
I love crits.
My runes are all dead.
That's true.
I think it actually
forgot.
would have been a crit even if I had my
I
runes.
was gonna say that was high. Damn.
Okay.
Yeah. I think my AC is normally a 35.
What does he get? He gets an extra
Fine.
weapon die of damage, but he's at least 10th level. It's 2
We're just
extra
gonna
weapon
crit
die.
each other until one of us is dead.
Okay, so I'm adding 4 weapon die to this attack. Oh boy, let me just roll in here. Plus...
I'm assuming he's going to go through with it, even if I regret him.
I'm
Sure,
can't
yeah,
imagine him
quite
saying
bad.
otherwise.
But will the damage reduction for regret right now is 16, and it also puts.
Are you within 15 of Asher as well? Yeah, yes. You're
Yes, I
within.
am. I adjusted to be there.
I see. Okay, yeah. He is definitely. You try to shout out a stinging word of remorse towards him, but he's absolutely going to go through with it.
Mm-hmm.
This is 103 damage from this
Not
Not
all.
enough.
heavy glaive attack.
Well, that at least reduces by 16, which is not nothing.
So 87 damage instead.
Yes, 87.
And he should become enfeebled 2 and have 4 persistent good damage,
Okay, enfeebled 2.
which may or may not
and-
matter. But it might.
Every bit counts.
Okay, at the end of the turn, I don't think a statue could take good damage.
But
You know
depends
what?
how.
Because it's Karzoug,
Well, it
Karzoug's
is.
in the statue. Sure.
It hurts his pride
It hurts.
or
it
his
hurts.
greed.
He doesn't have any pride. He's a huge
injured.
pride.
Well, that's very good information to have for me also. So if I can get a crit, I can potentially.
Okay, the persistent
Hit him
good
with
damage
another,
fades immediately, though. He does take the damage, but it goes away. And that's his turn. He moved, he
Okay.
power attacked. Asher.
How dare you hit me?
That was quite inconsiderate.
Keep moving, Asher. Stay behind us.
I just run around the circle the whole time, like
Your
Yeah,
end
he won't
is
be able to-
Karzoug.
You know, within reason.
Yeah, Karzoug, you dummy, you can't follow me. You're too slow. I am quite quick. Not as quick as normal. I have not given myself Long Strider yet. It's always time. Where's Greshy go?
Hint, hint.
Oh, you want me to
We'll-
go?
We'll
Just
keep
not
him,
without, not
keep
outside
him
of.
immobilized as much as possible.
This is how far I can go. Yeah, I can't. I don't think I can go. I'd have to take a few turns.
That's fair. I can't heal you if you're too far away. That's all.
Okay.
And you've been smacked quite hard, quite a lot very recently.
It's fine. You know what?
It's fine,
Love
guys.
that.
Don't worry about it.
Love it. We're having a great time. Me and my friend Karzoug here we're on vacation.
fight. I got it.
He's not even supposed to be here.
What you doing, Asher?
I'm going to because my hasten move can just be used for moving and fighting, basically, right?
Correct.
Can't
Yeah,
be-
move, stride or strike.
Yeah.
Either of the two.
Well, that'll be used for running around. I'll give him another. Hold on, real quick, because I just haven't used this in a billion years. I think I can use it every turn if I so chose. Yes, gimme. Okay, that was the wrong spot for it. I'm
What are you
sorry,
looking for?
I don't know where I put this. I just want to know, Eldritch Shot, you can do it as long as you have 3 slots every time, right? It doesn't have like a weird cooldown.
No,
yeah,
not
you
that I'm aware
just
of.
cause
You just have to be able to
reactions
cast a
do.
spell with
I
it.
think I can just
Yeah.
shoot,
So it's your whole turn usually.
but not today, thanks to my good friend Greshy.
Okay, yeah, you can Eldritch Shot again. Use all 3 of your actions. Focus that.
A 33.
That will hit.
35 if he's still flat-footed.
35? Yes, he is, in fact.
Yeah, he is still flat-footed.
So. Ha! Alright.
Okay, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll the damage for the base attack. Don't bother rolling the... if you're doing Ray of Frost, don't bother rolling Ray of Frost. I'll just add the Ray of Frost to the ice damage.
Let's just do simple and easy.
What?
That, I accidentally rolled an attack. That is not correct. Alright. There we go. The 11 still stands.
Okay, so that's
12
12 points of
piercing.
piercing plus the 11
Frost.
precision damage. Okay, so the shot just barely manages to pierce through the statue's like thick material, and that extra little bit of penetration into the solid rock, what it looks like, is enough to cause the ice to expand inside the statue itself, and you watch as the green glow in the eyes begins to kind of shoot out almost like laser beams, as the internals of the statue start to like clearly combust inside, and bits and pieces of the statue start to fall to the floor. The glaive crashes to the ground. The Sahedron book in his hand plummets, snaps open next to Gunn. The head cracks, and you hear Karzoug say, "You insignificant worms, fine." And then the statue's head just rolls off, and the entire statue collapses to the ground.
A big baby.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. Good work there.
Oh, my
And-
bones, though.
I wish he had finished that last sentence, though.
Hmm.
He
Worms
clearly had
fun,
more to
but-
say. But as the
bad
as
for
the
him.
room falls silent, I think that is where we will end the session for tonight. As you collect yourselves, and Asher, you look over the bow in your hand. Yes, Torger, 1 statue down, 6 more to go. Hope you all had fun tonight. This is another good episode. If you like what you see, make sure you catch up on all our old episodes on youtube.com/thirdaction. Catch us live at twitch.tv/thirdaction on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. We should be back next week, but not the week after. So we'll be here on the 18th, but not the 25th of October.
Aye.
And yeah, more Runeforge to come, or maybe not. Maybe the party is happy with their one weapon and is going to get out of here as fast as they can. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, farewell. Good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.
Night, everybody.